From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Hourly News Blast. This is the conclusion of yesterday's story about Smith College awarding Dr. Rachel Levine, former Assistant Secretary of Health, an honorary degree. Advocate is reporting. Smith awarded Levine an honorary degree during its commencement ceremonies last year, recognizing her decades-long public health career, which included leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic and advocacy around mental health, adolescent medicine, and LGBTQ+ health equity. A key official at the organization that filed the investigation said her interest was piqued when Admiral Levine received an honorary degree, Goldberg said. The organization took it even further by filing a complaint, attaching as the first, so presumably the most important exhibit to their complaint, the announcement of Rachel Levine among the honorary degree recipients. To Goldberg, that sequence matters because Title IX investigations are traditionally intended to access concrete harms that affected students' access to education. Fundamentally, the law is concerned with harm to students in accessing their education, she said. This is not a complaint from a Smith student who says she hasn't had equal access to education based on sex because of the presence of transgender students. Instead, Goldberg argues, the administration is using Title IX as a political tool. Title IX does not apply to college admissions by private undergraduate institutions, Goldberg explained. The prompt of an honorary degree to a prominent transgender physician and public official is sort of extraordinary and horrifying. The administration has defended the investigation as a protection of women's educational spaces. In announcing the probe, the Education Department said an all-women's college loses all meaning if it admits transgender women. Allowing transgender women into spaces designed for women raises serious concerns about privacy, fairness, and compliance under federal law, said Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights Kimberly Ritchie. The Trump administration will continue to uphold the law and fight to restore common sense. As a moment of commentary, I would like to explain to the Trump administration that transgender men are men, transgender women are women. What you don't seem to understand is that there is no such thing as biological sex. Chromosomes that determine one's gender come in a variety of ways and a variety of combinations. XXY chromosomal patterns exist. XYY chromosomal patterns exist. XX chromosomal patterns exist, with plenty of other combinations possible. But LGBTQ+ advocates say the administration's broader Title IX strategy is designed to marginalize transgender Americans from public institutions. What's most important to recognize is that this is not about protecting women's colleges. This is a part of a continued effort from the federal government to target transgender Americans. Rodrigo Heng-Lehtinen, Senior Vice President of Public Engagement Campaigns at the Trevor Project, told The Advocate in a statement. Heng-Lehtinen pointed to a new survey data from the organization, finding that 94% of transgender and non-binary young people said recent anti-LGBTQ+ laws, policies, and political debates cause them stress or anxiety. Actions like these from the government, whether they target transgender people's health, access to schools, or any other topic, send a message to transgender young people that says, you don't belong, Heng-Lehtinen said. And that message is as dangerous as it is untrue. Goldberg warned against viewing the Smith investigation in isolation. The government is using its official powers and resources to go after a school because it does not like who the school chooses as an honorary degree recipient. She said it is a shocking waste of resources in addition to the core problem of overstepping the law She also argued the Smith case is part of a larger campaign by the Trump regime to pressure colleges and universities over diversity, gender identity, and institutional autonomy. It's important to connect the dots from the investigation of Smith to other efforts by this administration to overtake the leadership of colleges and universities around the country, Goldberg said. Since returning to office in January 2025, President Donald Trump's administration has dramatically escalated pressure on colleges and universities through anti-Semitism investigations, attacks on diversity initiatives, federal funding threats, and challenges to transgender inclusion policies. Last year, Brown University agreed to adopt the administration's binary definition of sex across single-sex campus spaces as part of a deal restoring more than $50 million in frozen federal research funding, prompting trans students to tell The Advocate the Ivy League campus had become functionally inaccessible for transgender people. Granting an honorary degree to Admiral Levine and admitting transgender students, even if Title IX were to apply to college admissions or honorary degree recipients, neither of these would provide evidence of discrimination, Goldberg said. And that's the news blast for this hour. The PEP Radio YouTube channel provides news updates all day, every day. Subscribe to our channel to keep informed. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, fmstream.org, Radio Line, Streama, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.